I'm going to show you how to get some cheap and effective soft tissue work done. If you already do a lot of mobility and soft tissue work, this isn't going to be anything new to you. But for those of you that are already going to a gym, already using barbells and things like that, this is a great option. Instead of using a foam roller or something, is you can use a barbell. So right now, I'm just rolling out my hamstring. It's great because I can put my weight on it, and it is a smaller diameter, the bar is, than a big chunky foam roller. So what I'll find is the stronger I get, the tighter I get, the less I'm able to feel like I'm actually doing any corrective or loosening work with my tissue that I'm rolling. And so because the diameter is smaller, I can really get in there and really make a difference for the workout I'm just about to do here. So again, rolling out my hamstring right now. In this position, I can move as well, so I can get some extension here and work through that. I can even get into my calves. This is the same idea. But this time I'm going to use barbell to roll out quads. This is definitely more painful because now I have the weight of the bar on here. So I don't even actually add any weight when I'm doing this. The bar itself is actually heavy enough, but I suppose the more acclimatized you get to this, the more you may be inclined to add some extra weight. You get to all parts, so I can even get over to IT band here. And what's great about this is you don't need to go over to another part of the gym, grab a foam roller or anything. If you're coming in to do squats, bench press, whatever it is, you have your soft tissue loosening piece of equipment already geared to go. Okay, I lied. There is one more piece of equipment that I would always like to bring with me, which is just something like a lacrosse ball like this. And I'm all about getting in behind the glute here. I have super tight hips, and so this is a staple for me to get in behind my glute and roll that out before I do anything like squats that's going to require me to get through as much range of motion as possible. Let's answer some questions today. Someone asks, how do I plan my workup sets? So I do actually give details about this in the program that is in the link in the description. But for today, my workup sets are going to be 2x5 at 135, 8 at 185, 6 at 215, 5 at 235, 4 at 250, and 3 at 270. So the way these numbers work is with the first 3 weights that I'm doing, or it could be the first few weights you're doing working up, you're going to want to do 10% jumps. So from starting maybe 45% all the way to 65%, you could do 45, 55, 65. And then as you get closer to your working sets, so for today I'm going to be doing 85 to 90%. And what I'm going to do is as I get closer to that weight is I will do smaller jumps, so just 5% increments of increase so that all of a sudden it doesn't feel like the weight is a big shock because I've all of a sudden packed a lot onto the barbell. So you might find with your workup sets that if you do what I'm doing, it can be a little bit too fatiguing by the time you get to your actual working weight. But for this program, that is the point. So I am doing some volume working up. That's why we're doing like the 8 rep, the 6 rep, the 5, the 4, when my working sets are only going to be 3 reps. But the point of doing all that volume working up is to get that practice in. Instead of doing sets of 8 or 10 for my work sets, we're getting all of that repetition work done in the work up sets. A lot of these questions are related to jumping, so I'm going to get to those later in the video because right now I'm squatting. Alright, that was was my first work set. It's 285 pounds, and I'm just doing sets of 3. Now that moved a little bit slow, so I'm definitely gonna be sticking to 285 at least for the next set. Got a little micro increase. Second set moved a little bit quicker, so I'm now adding 5 more pounds. So we're gonna be doing 290 for 3 for the next set. And that was a lot smoother and a lot better looking than last week's squats. Does that mean I got better at squatting in a week? Yes, that's exactly what it means. It means I got better at squatting in just 1 week because I'm squatting twice a week, which means I'm getting lots of practice and doing all those workup sets and all that volume. And if I'm thinking about it critically, I'm working on my bracing, watching videos of myself squatting and trying to improve the bar path and the way the squat feels. Hi, Steph.
Hey.
Can I ask you an easier question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you about your band collection?
I'm using them to take off some of the load of my body weight so that I can do reps.
Yeah. But you can do dips without bands.
Prove or disprove it.
Well, no, wait, we saw that in last week's video. This is the most terrible feeling.
So, workup sets.
All right.
So I did 10 reps with a purple and a red.
It always feels worse than it looks. That felt heavy. But we're gonna stay at this weight. I'm gonna do 1 more set at the 290 for 3, and that'll be 4 sets of 3. Depending on how that one goes, I might go ahead and do a 5th set, but I'll probably drop the weight for that one. In the last video, I talked about how I'm gonna beat my previous max at squat. So earlier in 2020, just before summer, I squatted 335. And that is not a personal best. In fact, my best squat happened almost a decade ago. So I have a 357 squat that I did at a powerlifting meet over 10 years ago. A couple years after that, I did a 355 squat at a lower body weight. Go, do it. Since then, I've hit 345 several times. Because of different training focuses, I have spent certain years where I'm not really concerned with increasing the max of my squat. And in fact, I didn't do much of an off season on some years. I just trained through the winter and worked on all my technical skills. But now I want to improve both my strength and my technical skills throughout the entire year so I don't lose ability in either one. Beating last year's max is going to be possible because it's not the most weight I've ever lifted before. So it's not like I am trying to set a personal best here, although that would be nice. But what I am trying to do is just get stronger than I was last year. Second thing that is going to make that possible, and is going to be a big part of my plan, is making sure that I'm lifting with good technique. So I'm not going to force any sets or reps. As long as all of my practice is with good technique, then I should be able to have a nice linear progression through the program. That's your big plan. You're just gonna practice and do something that you've done before. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm gonna do this just with practice and the fact that I have already lifted the amount of weight that I want to lift this year before. It shouldn't be a goal that is too far outside of my reach. That was my last set, and it does feel a lot easier than my last set from last week. So again, that is evidence that I am getting stronger through doing the program, and that's something that you can reflect on yourself. So if workout to workout, you're actually feeling like weight is moving smoother and you're lifting it with a little bit more ease, that is an indicator that you are getting better at the exercise and therefore getting stronger. I have made a new flag thingy. I realized after last week's video that in fact my arms are not different lengths. Is my right hand higher? My aim is just really bad on my left side, so I have now made myself a bigger target to hit. I jazzed it up a bit so you can see I got some other tape on there, and those tape, blah, 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 blah. That tape indicates a 1 inch increase. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, 6 pieces of tape on there. So that is a 6 inch drop from the ceiling. And so what I'm hoping to do here is if I can consistently hit one of those pieces of tape, what I can do then is just fold it up and then go for the next one. I still missed. Damn it. All right, warming up, warming up. There we go. Okay. Got some jump questions that I'm gonna get to here. First one is, do I do weighted jumps or power cleans? So the answer to both of those is a no. I used to do weighted jumps, but I didn't really feel like I got much out of them. It kind of messed with my jump technique. So if you're loading up a weight vest, basically overloading your frame at a certain point, it changes the way you jump, and I don't really recommend it for broad jumps. Maybe vertical jumps, you could play around with that if you need to, but most people will just get better at jumping by varying the types of jumps they do instead of adding exterior weight. Power cleans, I'm not a fan of using any sort of Olympic lifts for parkour preparation. They take a long time to learn how to do effectively, and that's gonna basically make it so that you can't load enough weight on the bar in order to get a significant effect into your jumping ability, which is, I'm assuming, why you'd be doing power cleans in the first place. So not particularly a fan of the Olympic lifts for parkour. If you do Olympic lifts, that's awesome. I'm just not a fan of them for training for other sports. Last question here, do you do plyo or long jumps in between lifting? Yes, in the next phase, so in the power block, I'll be doing depth jumps, and I will be doing a complex method of alternating in between squats and jumps in a single workout. Also do bounding both on single leg and 2-foot bounding on a separate day, also during the power block. Jumps are feeling a little bit slower today, so again, I got a 6 inch drop from the ceiling. If I am able to touch the ceiling, I did some measurements earlier with my reach and the height of the ceiling, and that's going to equal to a 31 inch vertical jump for me if I can touch the ceiling. The clip that I posted last week, I was well touching the ceiling, so at the time I kind of figured that would probably be about a 33 inch vertical. I don't know if I'll be able to get to that or not, but if training goes well and I don't damage myself, maybe I can get back to that 33 inch jump. That's the best one. Sometimes it just takes warming up into it. You go from squats and then over to jumps. You gotta get a few jumps in before you can do your best work here. Okay, I wasn't able to consistently hit it that well on my previous jumps. I'm not gonna fold that flag up today. Hopefully next week, if I can hit it consistently well each time, I will fold it up another inch. And once again, I'm doing 2 sets of 3. Well, I don't think I'm going to be doing the jump from here to there today, but we are getting very close.
Your program indicates that, or implies that we would do our sprinting and jumping practice and then our weight room work. But I noticed that you are doing weight room work and then jumps.
Yeah. It changes block to block. So in the foundation block, sprinting, jumping, then weights for both workouts. And then if you're a
stickler for details on the strength block, you'll see that we do one day where it's up to 5 reps of jumps on that. So that's lower body workout 1. Lower body workout 2, weights first because they're going to be heavier that day, and then jumps after. And I usually jump better on the first day of the week because I'm not tired from all the other workouts. So expect diminished jumps after doing squats just simply because of fatigue. Okay. Thanks for your question, Steph. That's better.
If anyone's curious, that is about a 9'3" jump. If I do the jump between the cubes, that's going to be only 9'4", so still quite a bit shy of what my best precision jumps level are. And obviously that is also indicating with my vertical jump currently being diminished from what was probably like a 33-inch vertical, and what I've calculated it now based on the measurements I did earlier and using those strips of tape. If I touch the ceiling, it's 31 inches. Because I'm 6 pieces of tape down, that is for me a measly 25-inch vertical. Correction, I'm at a 26-inch vertical right now because I can touch the second piece of tape there. Just wanted to share this setup with you. What I have here is a bar loaded with a lot more than I weigh, so it's 235 pounds on the bar. We've got our pad, which I never use for squatting, but I'm going to use it for this exercise, and then some mats on the floor. So what I'm going to be doing is either what you would call a glute ham raise or a Nordic curl, and I'm just going to be doing the eccentrics today. Now, there was a time when I was focused a lot more on strength work, and I could bang out 5 repetitions. When I moved from a studio where I was doing personal training and moved into the bigger gym that is Origins, I stopped doing this exercise mainly because I didn't have a setup to do it on. So recently I've tinkered with a couple different things, and I think this is going to be the best one for you if you're looking for a way to set up for this exercise. And what I'm going to do is just hook in here. Now, a lot of people do this incorrectly by being a little bit too much on their ankles. You want to actually push your feet back a little bit further so you're higher up, almost on your calf here. So if you think just like the leverage you'll get, you'll be a bit stronger from there. The second thing that you could consider if you're more of a beginner at this exercise is having the bar. In this case, I can't really put it any higher than this. Actually, I could put it higher, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep it down here. But what you could do is have this bar a little bit higher, and that way you'll actually have a decreased range of motion that you're going to travel through. So if I'm going down, you can see how my heel's already lifted up a little bit, and then I can pull from there. But if my heels were higher than that, then I would already have completed part of a full repetition and be a little bit further through that exercise, and it would be easier to make the lift from there. So today I'm just going to be doing eccentrics. Do a little bit of an assisted push on the way back up. We're going to do 6 of these. I'm going to add another short-term goal to the list. By the end of the strength block, I will be able to do at least 1 concentric rep of those Nordic curls. So the eccentrics are feeling quite easy today. It's my second session only doing them, and I had to hold off for a while because I wasn't sure how my knee was going to take it, but turns out it's fine. So we're going to continue working on those, and I should be able to get at least 1 rep pretty soon. Yeah, so get in there so that you're a little bit further back. That's perfect right there. And then already be lifting against it. So when you go down, yeah, you want to be trying to pick, the idea is you're trying to pick that bar off the ground.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's still not going to be easy.
No. Especially when I did leg work yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, that's all it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a painful exercise, so it does tend to make people sore the next day, but that is how we do. A lot of people, when they do these, they just simply don't have enough resistance. So you either need something that's not going to move, or in this case, again, 235 pounds. So if you have like your mom or your best friend holding your ankles, that's not going to be quite enough. In fact, when I first used to do this exercise with partners, I would sometimes get one person on each leg. Obviously, it feels a lot better to just have something that's totally stationary that you can use. You don't have to call over two friends, but that's the type of resistance that's needed. So as I was saying to Steph, you want to try to actually lift whatever structure is holding you down. So rather than just thinking about picking my body up and trying to lift this bar behind me,